And if you want to ask me who is the one who can achieve this, I will say Narendra Modi can do it.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an interaction session with Dr. Subramanian Swamy. You can ask your questions. Even if you want to ask a question in Kannada, then also you can ask your questions. So our volunteers are there with the mics there. Please raise your hand, tell your identity, your name and the place, and you can ask the question with Dr. Subramanian Swamy.
Namaste Swamiji. I am an advocate. We were seeing you through YouTube and other electronic and press media. But in the recent years, you have worked your you have done your job as one-man army. And we used to tell, I am a BJP legal cell member, we used to give your example. If one man can do so many things, we have got a battalion of advocates. We have got so much big party and all ramifications. We could do so many things. Now you are with us, so we will move forward. According to Julian Assange, 1.98 crores of rupees, 98 crores of rupees stacked in the account of Rahul Gandhi, and about 35,000 crores of rupees also in Swiss bank. Now you have revealed everything what is inside story of our politicians. So please, if at all any salvo is there, shoot the salvos now. This is the right time. We will follow you.
Salvos or what? Well, I tell you that all the money abroad, which is 120 lakh crores, can be brought back by just one ordinance. All that the government of India has to declare is that all accounts of Indian citizens in the following 70 countries which do secret banking, like Cayman Island, Isle of Man, Switzerland, Macau, all the accounts in these 70 countries of Indian citizen is now nationalized. And if any Indian can prove that his account was honestly opened, we will return that account. The United Nations resolution of 2005 allows us to do this. They did it in Egypt, they did it in Libya. It can be done now with Indians, and we'll get all those 120 lakh crores back, of which 27,000 crores is, 2,27,000 crores belongs to Sonia Gandhi. That also we will get back.
I am Sadashiv from Kulai. Sir, you have denied of the great lady becoming the Prime Minister of India.
Yes.
But some top leaders of Ji-Huzur says that it is a sacrifice. I also don't know the actual reason why it has been denied. Will you please tell us?
All right. I'll tell you also the reason why Rahul Gandhi also cannot become. Give you a bonus. In the Indian Citizenship Act, there was a proviso. Now, of course, they have amended it, but that's an unconstitutional amendment, so I can fix it later. There was a proviso in the section 5 of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1956 which says any foreigner becoming a citizen of India will be subject to conditions, which conditions are imposed on Indians becoming citizens in their country. So the condition which an Indian has to face in becoming citizen of Italy will be applied to an Italian citizen becoming a citizen of India. In Italy, unless you are born in Italy, you cannot become the Prime Minister of Italy. and therefore it applies to her that she is not born in India, therefore she cannot be Prime Minister of India. This is the condition. I wrote this to Abdul Kalam when he was president on the 14th of November, when the results came out, that I wrote to him saying, I see from the papers that she is being proposed, but there is a legal hitch in that. Please look at it and deny her the opportunity to be the PM. Well, no reply came from Abdul Kalam, so I was that time in Madras, so I came to Delhi and I saw on television reading at 5 o'clock Sonia Gandhi has been invited by Abdul Kalam to stake her claim to be the Prime Minister of India. 5 o'clock. So I said it's all over. Suddenly at 12:30 I got a phone call from the Rashtrapati Bhavan that the President wants to see you within 15 minutes. So I rushed to Rashtrapati Bhavan, which is not very far from my house in Delhi, and was there at 12:45. When I entered Abdul Kalam's room, there were all officers sitting, and Abdul Kalam said, "You wrote this letter?" I said, "Yes, I wrote this letter." He said, "I got it only this morning." So I said, "Well, I sent it by post. The post is inefficient. What can I do?" So he said, "Okay, you explain to my officers what you have written." So I explained what I have just explained to you. Then he asked the officers, "Do you have any questions?" One of them said, "What about the constitutionality of this section?" I gave them two judgments where it has been gone into, and not in the case of Italians, but it was in the case of other countries, and so they were all satisfied. So I asked him, now I can go, but tell me what you're going to do. He said, I am taking your matter very seriously and I'll let you know. But I said, you already announced that 5 o'clock she is coming to stake her claim. So he said to me in Tamil, "Adu 5 mani thane, unna enna kavala, ipo vandu 1 mani dhaan aarudhu." So I came back. At 3:30, Kalam wrote a letter which is presently untraceable, but one day we'll get hold of it. This was sent by hand to Sonia Gandhi. Present and the advance phone came that President is sending a letter, please read it. In the room were Manmohan Singh and Natwar Singh. And then Sonia Gandhi opened the letter, and according to one of them, I won't tell you which one, she burst into tears. So then the other two read the letter. It was written that I had invited you at 5 o'clock, but since then I have received a complaint from Mr. Dr. Subramaniam Swamy, former Commerce Minister, blah blah, and I don't know what merit there is in his points, but I have to have it checked since he has held very high positions, and therefore it will be sent to the Election Commission, the Supreme Court, for an opinion. So till that time I cannot give you the oath of office, and therefore the 5 p.m. Appointment is cancelled, and if you still want to meet me, you come tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Now at 5 o'clock she was to go, all the MPs had assembled, and suddenly at 4:45 Manmohan Singh turns up at that meeting where all the MPs are sitting, and he reads the last line of that letter, which came on TV. Everybody can see it. If you go by, ask any TV station, they'll give it to you. It came on TV. Manmohan Singh read that. We have received a letter from the President, and he has said that if you want to meet me, you better come at 10 o'clock. All this 5 o'clock and all, he did not read. Only that you can come tomorrow. So, but at 6:30, in the Parliament House, all MPs are to meet, and Sonia Gandhi is going to address it. At 6:30, she said, I have a conscience problem, this problem, that problem, I can't do it, I don't want to be Prime Minister, all that. It was a lie. Why is it a lie? Because when I was leaving Kalam's room, there was a big table and there were MPs' letters all stacked up. They were stacked up state-wise. So I knew immediately, because each letter had I so and so elected from constituency so and so hereby propose Sonia Gandhi for Prime Minister of India. So she had collected these letters. Then I looked at the UP bunch and went through it, and I found a letter which said, I, Sonia Gandhi, elected from Raebareli, hereby propose Sonia Gandhi for Prime Minister of India. So what a liar she is. She had proposed her own name. When Sharad Pawar had sent her the letter of endorsement with his MPs, he said, we hereby propose Congress party to lead the government. She sent back that letter to Sharad Pawar and said, no, no, you write it in my name. So she could not become. Now, problem with Rahul Gandhi is, of course, the main problem with him is cocaine, but that's another problem. And before coming to every press conference, he takes a dose in the house of Jindal. So, and that's why he comes and says, I'll tear it up on cabinet. How can anybody tear up cabinet note? So that's the influence of cocaine. Now, he had to leave Harvard also because of cocaine. So anyway, when he was born in 1970, June or something like that, at that time Sonia Gandhi was still Italian citizen. She became Indian citizen when? 1983. 1970 she was Italian citizen. Italian law is that wherever a person is born of an Italian mother, you are automatically an Italian citizen. Not only that, Sonia Gandhi wrote a letter to the embassy saying that I have given birth to a son whose name is, and I have not yet seen that letter, I have been trying very hard, but one day I will get it, where I believe she said his name is Raul Vincai, Raul Vinci. That the ambassador sent to the Home Ministry, what is called the Department of Interior, in Rome, where his name was entered into the citizen register. So he is a citizen of Italy, and he remains a citizen of Italy unless he renounces it. He has never renounced it, and this therefore his Indian citizenship is illegal. So if I can get authentic proof of that register in the Ministry Department of Internal Affairs in Rome, I put two of my ex-Harvard students on the job. It's not, it's a tough job, but we are doing it. Then he cannot be the Prime Minister of India. He can't even be an MP of India. Of course, he is not going to be an MP of India because he will lose Amethi. That I can tell you. So therefore, goodbye. If you are very fond of the Nehru family, let me tell you, we in BJP have a representative called Varun Gandhi. You can have him.
Sir, you are the president of Janata Party All India.
I was.
Now you are merged with the BJP.
Yes.
So there was a big move that you are taking a responsible post in All India BJP.
Yes.
When we expect that, sir?
I don't know. I have not asked for it. And it is for them to give. The only new post I've got in the last 3-4 days is chairman of a committee, subcommittee of the Vision Document Committee for Perspective Economic Planning for 2020. So I mean, this will give the manifestos. Yeah. I think that is good enough. So if party feels that they want to give me a post, I'm ready, but I'm not asking for it. I don't need a post, by the way. People know me as Subramaniam Swamy.
Harshit Shetty from Mangalore. Sir, BJP is traditionally a party which promotes Swadeshi and nationalism. And in the current scenario, I think globalization and foreign investment is more important.
Yes.
So is there a conflict between the two?
There is no conflict, because when we say Swadeshi, we mean self-reliance. Self-reliance means you produce the maximum within your country, but where you have to import, you must pay for it from your exports, and not live unduly on loans from abroad. So I don't think there is any conflict at all, and we should continue to espouse the concept of Swadeshi and Swadharma, which are fundamental principles of our party.
I am K. Sharma, advocate, convener BJP Legal Cell, DK District. I would like to bother you, sir, with reference to China.
To China? Huh?
China. The Buddha was born in India. He went to China. He spread Chinese, Buddhism in China. And we have got lot of commonness between these two countries. Why China is so much obsessed towards India? Why China is so much bothered about India? Why can't we have normal relationship what we actually thought of during the regime when Vajpayee was the foreign minister? This is the question.
You answer one question. Why you are so bothered about Pakistan? So the answer is this, that China sees a growing India, and it sees that it is also having problems with America. So they want some assurance, not verbal assurance, concrete assurance, that we will not team up with America to finish China. We have to decide whether to give it or not. In 1977, when the Janata government came to power, Morarji Desai called me and said, "You are a China expert, you speak Chinese, so can you tell me whether they are going to continue to insist that all the territory is theirs, they won't even accept it is disputed, they are not ready to discuss, anyway they can change their mind." So I said there is only one way. They are having a big conflict with the Soviet Union. In fact, there was a small war also on that river called Ussuri River. So they think that we are friends of the Soviet Union. So what is the point in talking? They won't talk with us. You somehow convince them that you are independent of Soviet Union, because Indira Gandhi was total junior partner of Soviet Union. So he said, you go and convince them. So I said, I will go and tell them that if they have a war with Soviet Union, India will be neutral. India will not allow Soviet troops to go to Tibet via India. Can I say that? He said, yes, you can say. So I said, then give me a letter saying that I am your representative. He gave me a letter. I went to China, explained that there is a new government. We are not slaves of the past. We are not stooges of the Soviet Union. We are independent country. We would like you to accept that we have a dispute and not claim all this territory is yours. And we want to discuss and settle this problem. And this assurance we are ready to give you. The Chinese were so happy that their leader Deng Xiaoping came to Nepal and made an announcement that there is a new government in India, and we look forward to meeting Mr. Morarji Desai. So that's how the thaw took place and talks started. Today we have reached a new situation. There is no Soviet Union. So the Chinese problem is Taiwan, these places where Singapore, Japan, These are all pro-American countries. So they want to know whether we are going to be with them or with them. Now we have to make up our mind. I don't know whether you people want to be with America or you want to be with China. With China not mean bye-bye. You must be very clear. There was no bye-bye. It's only if you start bye-bye, then you will end up with bye-bye. You see. So we have to be strong. Where China knows that if they misbehave, we'll attack them. We'll retaliate. That time you can bring about a change, and we need to bring about that change, because if we want to finish off Pakistan, you have to neutralize China, and for that purpose I think we should make that effort.
Dr. Vijay, I'm a surgeon. I've got three quick small questions. The
Yes.
first one is, whether it be in the 2G scam or whether it be even in yesterday's Times Now show, I saw that, what you took was a very legal position.